Here are the top stories for today, August 28, 2020. Tollways will soon be required to engage in cashless or contactless transactions to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Health Secretary Francisco Duque hopes to clear his name in the Senate inquiry on issues in PhilHealth. Butuan City wants to place 40 COVID-hit barangays under modified ECQ. And religious groups engaged only in evangelism are urged not to be afraid of the new anti-terrorism law. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, requires motorists to use cashless and contactless transactions when using toll expressways. This is to protect the public from the infectious coronavirus disease. The Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, or MPTC, said their tollways are technically ready to shift from manual toll collection to full RFID-enabled system. Any RFID sticker installed by its provider, Easy Trip Corporation, will be compatible throughout the expressways.
Para maprotektahan ang publiko sa COVID-19, magiging cashless, contactless na transaction ang tollways no later than November 2, 2020 ayon sa DOTR. Ang contactless transactions ay patutupad sa South Luzon Expressway, SLEX, Manila Cavite Toll Expressway, Cavitex, North Luzon Expressway, NLEX, South Metro Manila Skyway, Southern Tagalog Artelia Road, STAR, Tollway, Subic-Clark Tarlac Expressway, SETEX, Cavite Laguna Expressway, CALAX at iba pang road networks.
The country's case doubling rate and mortality doubling time dramatically improves in the past few months. This as the government has aggressively moved to expand the critical care capacity of hospitals. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque explained the comparison during his briefing. Let's watch this.
Now, ito po ang napakagandang comparison kung ano po ang mga naging case doubling rate natin at saka mortality doubling time dito sa Pilipinas. Noong Marso 15 po ng taong ito, ang ating case doubling rate po ay 1.55. Ibig sabihin, sa isang araw lamang, dumodoble na yung kaso ng COVID. Noong June 1, 2020, matapos po tayong nagkaroon ng ECQ, humaba po yung case doubling rate, halos isang linggo na po at 6.26 days. Ang mabuting balita po, ang ating case doubling rate ay halos 10 araw na po at 9.87 days. Samantala, ang ating mortality doubling rate po noong March 15, ito po ay 0.96 days. Ibig sabihin, halos isang araw dumodoble yung mga namamatay. Ngayon po, ang mabuting balita, dumodoble po ang numero ng namamatay after 14.46 days. Ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Na kaya po ng ating mga ospital na ang responsibilidad or pagilingin ang mga nagkakasakit dahil po sa COVID-19. Mas magaling na po ang ating healthcare workers, no? Mas kilala na natin ang COVID-19 at dahil dito, mabubuhay at magtatrabaho tayo.
The Commission on Higher Education has launched its online resource portal called PhilChed Connect to address concerns of students who have difficulty in acquiring required materials. This as face-to-face class lectures or encounters are still prohibited in areas under enhanced and general community quarantine.
Gumawa ang komisyon ng online portal. Ito yung tinatawag na PhilChed Connect. Ito ay website kung saan pwedeng kumuha ang mga faculty at mga estudyante ng mga materyales na gagamitin sa kanilang pag-aaral. Sa ngayon, madami nang gumagamit nito, madami ng laman. Ang mga pamantasan na nag-donate dito sa PhilChed Connect ay mga universities dito at sa ibang bansa.
Artists and cultural workers displaced due to the spread of COVID-19 in the country are given financial aid through Assistance Program or Cultural Workers. The National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or NCCA, said they prioritize those who have no regular income or are working freelance, no benefits, and those whose source of income are gone due to the current crisis.
Dahil po sa pandemya, naranasan po natin ngayon kabila ng ang ating mga artists, mga cultural workers ay nawala ng pagkakataong makapaghanap buhay. Lalo na po yung marami sa mga iyan ang ika nga tinatawag nating freelancer. Minabuti po ng NCCA na bumuo ng cash assistance program upang mag-abot ng tulong sa ating mga kasamahang artists at cultural workers. Sa kabuuan po, nagbigay tayo ng almost 69 million na nagsimula noong Abril. At hanggang ngayon, nagbibigay pa rin po tayo. At ang natulungan po natin ay mga nasa 9,600 cultural art workers, cultural artists na po. At meron pa po kami tinutulungan mga 1,000. Dito po ay nationwide.
Local government units aggressively implement measures to contain and lessen the number of COVID-19 cases in the country. Chris Mundo for the details.
More quarantine facilities are being constructed to ensure that COVID-19 infections are being contained in one area. In Laguna, the Calabarzon Regional Government Center, which is being transformed into a COVID-19 quarantine facility, is expected to begin operations by early September. It has 553 cubicles, nurse stations, quarters for healthcare workers with toilet and shower rooms for patients. In Parañaque City, a quarantine facility for coronavirus disease will be completed within this month. It is being built at the Parañaque City College located in Coastal Road, Cabihasnan, San Dionisio, and has a 56-bed facility with 2 rooms for health workers. Meanwhile, Quezon City launched a telemedicine system where patients who are undergoing home quarantine or admitted in the city's Hope Community Caring Facilities can consult their doctors without having to personally meet them. This program lessened the exposure of healthcare workers and COVID-19 patients as they conduct the consultations online. A total of 15 laptops and desktops were donated by the Department of Health to support the QC COVID telemedicine operations. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Mundo.
Isolation facilities are also being constructed in the province to contain the spread of the disease. The DPWH has turned over the newly constructed facilities in Iligan City to curb the spread of COVID-19. Christine Lynn Viajante filed this report.
Residents in Iligan are thankful now that the Department of Public Works and Highways is stepping up in the coronavirus disease scene in the city. This is in response to the increasing number of positive COVID-19 cases, shooting up to more than 100% in the last 2 weeks this month.
Yusek Sadain, thank you, and Secretary Mark Villar, thank you kayo sa inyong tanan. To the increased number of kanang positive diri sa amto ang syudad, kanida ko kayo ni nga tabang sa tuwa para sa isolation para sa ato ang mga igsuon.
In partnership with the city government, DPWH just recently turned over 3 isolation facilities inside multipurpose halls at Barangays Poblacion, Akmak, and Tominobo. Each facility can house up to 40 COVID-19 patients, complete with proper ventilation, comfortable medical beds, and comfort rooms.
Sa amin sa DPWH, kung saan kailangan ng serbisyo namin at saan kami makatulong, tulad nito, they don't even expect that we can come down and give them necessary assistance. So nakita rin namin sa statistics, that's about 234 COVID cases. I think dapat yung mga yan, mabigyan ng ayuda na kagad-agad. Kasi pag papanatilin mo lang sa bahay yan o kaya kung saan-saan, madali siya makapanghawa.
Meanwhile, Iligan City Mayor expresses gratitude for the quick actions taken by the department considering the dire conditions of granular community lockdowns around the city.
Salamat kayo, dako kay ning tabang, dako kay ning kabubuton nga among na tagamtaman nga kining inyong gibuhat karon, dili lang ingon nga dito sa Luzon, Visayas, ni anak diri sa siyudad sa Iligan nga sa pagkakaroon nadapuan sa coronavirus disease.
For PNA Newsroom, Christine Lynn Viajante of PIA Iligan City Information Center.
Still to come, Health Secretary Francisco Duque hopes to clear his name in the Senate inquiry on the issues in PhilHealth. Butuan City wants to place 40 COVID-hit barangays under modified ECQ. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
You're still watching the PNA Newsroom. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III welcomed the Senate inquiry into his public service record as a way of clearing his name. Duque was the president of Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, from 2001 to 2005. He became chairman of the board from 2005 to 2009 and board member in 2016. He again became the chairman of the state insurer from 2017 to the present. Duque said accountability and transparency have been his guidepost in all his years in the public sector. The health official said he tried to reform PhilHealth, which he claimed is composed of decent and competent public servants. Duque suggested to the Congress that a fixed-term president and chief executive officer be returned because the reforms are long-term. He also recommended a study to be made on limiting the inclusion of department secretaries to ex officio positions and the like. Malacanang expressed strong objection to the assessment of Vice President Maria Leonor Robredo, saying President Duterte lacks plans to address the pandemic. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said it has been months since we are battling COVID-19 and the President's plans to fight it are already being implemented.
Unang-una po, I beg to disagree, seriously disagree with the Vice President. Tignan po natin ang napakababang mortality rate na sinasabi ko na. Tignan po natin yung mga karagdagang capacity na binuo natin para nga po mabigyan ng kinakaulang atensyon yung mga magkakasakit, no? Kaya nga po, nung kailan lang, nag-inaugurate tayo ng karagdagang 250 exclusive COVID beds sa East Avenue. Magkakaroon pa po tayo ng additional beds sa Quirino, sa Quezon Institute, at saka sa PGH. At meron na po tayo sa linggong ito, additional 250 isolation beds na binigay po ng Razon Group dyan po sa Nayong Pilipino. No? Siguro, madali po magpula dahil hindi tayo nasa gitna ng pandemya at hindi tayong inaasahang gumalaw.
Malacanang maintains that there is no need for the president to meet supporters pushing for a revolutionary government. He says RevGov is not among the priorities of President Duterte.
Ulitin ko po, wala pong kinalaman ang presidente dyan sa RevGov na yan. Kung mayroong mga miyembro ng gabinete na nagsusulong ng RevGov, narinig na po nila ang sinabi ng presidente, hindi niya gusto yung RevGov, wala siyang pakialam dyan. Sapat na po yan para malaman ng mga miyembro ng gabinete at mga supporters niya kung ano ang paninindigan ng ating presidente.
Two House committees in the House of Representatives approved on Thursday a substitute bill raising the age of statutory rape from the current 12 years of age to 16 years of age. The House Committees on the Revision of Laws and Welfare of Children approved the substitute measure which seeks to impose reclusion perpetua or 40 years imprisonment for statutory rape against minors who are under 16 years old. Tingog Party List Representative Yeda Marie Romualdez said any adult who has sexual intercourse with a minor below 16 years old will be guilty of rape even if the minor has given consent under the proposed law. She said aside from the certainty of punishment for statutory rape as a deterrent, the bill also aims to strengthen the protection of children in order to enable them to grow and live in a safe environment and a caring community. Current Philippine laws provide that sexual intercourse with children below 12 years old is illegal and tantamount to rape. Butuan City plans to place at least 40 of its barangays under modified enhanced community quarantine to stop the spread of COVID-19 in certain barangays. Here is our report.
The local government of Butuan City has sought the approval of the Regional Task Force Against COVID-19, One Caraga Shield, to place at least 40 barangays under modified enhanced community quarantine. This came after the Department of Health in Caraga Region announced a total of 21 new cases on Tuesday and Wednesday. The latest infections, according to DOH in Region 13, were recorded in at least 7 barangays, including Ambago, Bonbon, Doongan, Holy Redeemer, Libertad, Limaha, and San Vicente. The local government has not yet released the names of the 40 barangays to be placed under MECQ as of posting time. Meanwhile, military frontliners will help in efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19 in Western Visayas. Presidential Assistant for the Visayas, Secretary Michael Lloyd Dino, said with cases now stabilized in Cebu City, they hope to do the same in Bacolod and Iloilo as their COVID-19 cases are going up. He said General Melquiades Feliciano is staying in Bacolod and Iloilo to replicate Cebu's best practices along with 2 teams of military medical frontliners from Central Command. Environment Secretary Roy Simatu and Feliciano also supervised the granular lockdown in selected villages as well as helped attend to the concerns of medical frontliners. In Surigao del Norte, health workers at the Surigao del Norte Provincial Hospital received pneumococcal conjugate vaccines for their protection as they continue to serve as frontliners in containing the spread of COVID-19 in the province. The vaccines will benefit 38 health workers and frontliners at the SDNPH. The hospital chief, Dr. Chloe Digal Corpin, thanked the provincial government for its support. As of Thursday, Surigao del Norte has a total of 98 COVID-19 positive cases, 94 recoveries, and 4 remaining active cases. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
In our business news, the Bureau of Permits Manila warned businesses not to sell Ashley Shine beauty products, especially if the items are labeled with Manila, Province of China. In a letter issued on Thursday, Permits head Levi Facundo said those who will be caught selling or distributing the said products may be served with a closure or a cease and desist order. He said the products did not pass the Food and Drugs Administration's verification process. Facundo added that using the said product may cause side effects and pose potential health hazards to consumers. The packaging labels of Ashley Shine beauty products have been misbranded when they claim that Manila is a province of China. Ashley Shine beauty products is manufactured for and by Elegant Fumes Beauty Products Incorporated with an office in Binondo, Manila. The general public is also advised to be vigilant against cosmetic products that might not be duly registered with and approved by the FDA. Up next, religious groups engaged only in evangelism are urged not to be afraid of the new anti-terrorism law. And a school in Nueva Vizcaya promotes Filipino-inspired face masks and shields in celebration of Buwan ng Wika. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Alamin kung paano ang tamang pagsusuot ng surgical mask. Una, hawakan ang mask sa strap at siguruhin natatakpan nito ang inyong bibig at ilong. Tandaan, ang may kulay na bahagi ng mask ang dapat nasa labas. Ito lamang ang tamang paraan ng pagsuot nito. Ihulma ang nose piece o maliit na metallic strip ayon sa hugis ng inyong ilong. Iwasan ang paghawak sa inyong ilong at bibig. Kung marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap at itapon ito sa isang basurahan. Siguruhin ang maayos na paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. Ang surgical mask ay dapat gamitin ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa baga o mga taong mayroong ubo, sipon at lagnat, mga nag-aalaga sa mga may sakit, at mga healthcare at frontline workers. Maaari ring magsuot nito kung kayo ay pupunta sa matataong lugar. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Members of the religious sector have nothing to fear from the newly enacted Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Southern Luzon Command Chief Antonio Parlade Jr. made the statement after the Association of Major Religious Superiors in the Philippines filed the 30th petition against the anti-terror law before the Supreme Court Wednesday. In their petition, AMRSP said they fear of being suspected as terrorists in the course of their evangelical and missionary work. Parlade said if religious members allow themselves to be exploited and manipulated by communists, they will be in trouble with the law. Parlade cited the Mindanao Interfaith Services Foundation Incorporated and rural missionaries of the Philippines who allegedly supported the Communist Party of the Philippines. While not into generalizing things, the NTF-LCAC officials said if religious groups won't aid known terrorist groups, then there is nothing for them to fear from the government. The death of 4 military intelligence operatives in the hands of police officers last June 29 is believed to have disrupted operations against the 2 suicide bombers involved in Monday's twin blast in Jolo, Sulu. Armed Forces Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Gilbert Gapay said, aside from missing the opportunity of capturing the 2 suicide bombers, it disrupted intelligence operations in the area. Gapay is requesting that charges be immediately filed against the policemen involved in the shooting. Philippine Army Commander Lieutenant General Cirilito Sobejana identified the 2 bombers by their aliases Nana and Indanay. Nana was the wife of the first confirmed Filipino suicide bomber Norman Lasuca, who conducted the attack against the 1st Brigade Combat Team in Sulu in June 2019. Meanwhile, Indanay was the widow of reported Islamic State conduit Abu Talha, who was killed in November 2019. Sobejana said the 2 female suicide bombers are the same targets being tracked by the group who was gunned down last June. In sports, the House Committee on Youth and Sports Development assured the Philippine Sports Commission of its support as it bats for more funds for the Tokyo Olympic bid of the national athletes. PSC Chairman Butch Ramirez and Chef de Mission Nonong Araneta attended the committee meeting on Wednesday to request for a 182 million peso fund for the national athletes. Ramirez said the proposal was made to compensate for the money the PSC had to give up for its contribution in the fight against COVID-19. The PSC was one of the government offices who contributed to the Bayanihan Act. Committee Chair Representative Eric Martinez assured that the House will do its part to get the funding for this Olympics. Representative Bambol Tolentino, also the president of the Philippine Olympic Committee, has already pledged 180 million pesos to the campaign. A total of 86 athletes here and abroad are training for their Olympic bid. The city government of Lapu-Lapu, Cebu is looking into improving police visibility here in anticipation of the gradual reopening of tourism activities. Mayor Junard Chan said in line with boosting peace and order, the city will soon have new and presentable buildings for the new stations of the Philippine National Police. Chan said they inaugurated a new police station last Tuesday on Olango Island worth 6 million pesos. He said this will also be the arrangement for the future stations to rise in the city. Lapu-Lapu's Tourism, Cultural and Historical Affairs Commission, headed by the mayor's wife Cindy King Chan, is looking to promote Olango's white beaches as the city's little Boracay, projecting the island as a growing ecotourism destination in Cebu. Meanwhile, the Cebu Provincial Tourism Task Force has released a new set of requirements for hotels, resorts, and tour operators while the province is under modified general community quarantine. Accommodation establishments will need to apply for a certificate of authority to operate or a provincial certificate of authority to operate at the Department of Tourism. Establishments must also apply for special mayor's permit to operate from their local government units. For tour transport operators, they are required to get a certification from the Land Transportation, Franchising and Regulatory Board or the Maritime Industry Authority. A private Catholic school has transformed this year's Buwan ng Wika into a more creative observance by honoring Filipino culture, heritage, and identity while promoting safety amid the pandemic. In a now viral social media post, participants from St. Louis School in Solano, Nueva Vizcaya wore their own artistic creation of face masks and face shields along with their native garments. St. Louis's preschool, junior, and senior high school teachers are competing for the most creative, stylish, and Filipino-inspired face mask and face shield. This initiative targets to promote awareness on using face masks and face shields to curb the local transmission of COVID-19. The school has already started its classes this school year through the use of self-paced learning modules as face-to-face classes remain prohibited due to the pandemic. Here's another look at today's biggest stories. Tollways will soon be required to engage in cashless or contactless transactions to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Health Secretary Francisco Duque hopes to clear his name in the Senate inquiry on issues in PhilHealth. Butuan City wants to place 40 COVID-hit barangays under modified ECQ. And religious groups engaged only in evangelism are urged not to be afraid of the new anti-terrorism law. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day, stay safe, happy weekend, everyone.